All right, so here we have two screens. Right, we can list the courses, or we can navigate to the course viewer to see the details for that particular course, or navigate back. And so what we could do is convert all these courses titles right into hyperlinks. And the way we do that is if we go to the course list component, we can convert all the URLs, all these titles into hyperlinks. Right? We say A, right? And now they're hyperlinks. But we need to link to the pattern in this URL. Right? So we can say that href is course viewer. Right? So that now they should render as hyperlinks, so that when I click on them, notice that indeed they navigate to the course viewer. See that? Okay, so they can all navigate to the course viewer. Now, to make this a little more interesting, what I like to be able to do is, I need to be able to tell the course viewer, well, which course do you want to display, right? So we'd like to be able to pass as an argument or parameter in the URL. We'd like to pass the ID of the course that we want to render. So the way we could do that is that, notice that we're iterating over the courses. Notice that we do have as well, we have the ID of the course as well. Right, if we go back, right, and we re-render, notice that we do have unique identifier. We can encode that in the URL so that we can pass it as an argument, so that the course viewer can then say, ah, I know which course. Let me go fetch that course. Let me go fetch the modules, the topics, the lessons. Let me go fetch everything that I need. All right, so let's do that. We're going to encode here the course dot underscore ID, like that, right? So if I go back and it gets rendered, if I hover over it, I don't know if you can see at the bottom of the screen, you'll notice that now the hyperlink contains the URL. The problem is that if I click on it, notice that there's nothing that maps to it, right? So the routing mechanism says, well, there's nothing that maps to that URL. I don't know what to render. So we would need to change the router, right, and say that actually the URL pattern is matches this pattern, right, where it starts with course ID, and then it ends with something that we're going to call the course ID. Now if we go back and we try that again, and we click on it, notice that indeed now I am passing the ID of the course, right, to the course viewer. And the course viewer can then use that ID to go maybe fetch some information about that particular course. That make sense? All right. So let's now focus on the course viewer, right? To use that information.